It's not the bet. Take the rings off, I think, before you're going to go.
Why is the rum always gone?
And all our comments were Americans complaining, why are you sending it to anti-gun Australia when we can't get it in America as well?
I'm not a psychopath, I swear.
A little bit, but they're ferals over there, so as in the animals.
Wow. So Andy, things are a bit different on this show.
Sure are.
There's no real intro. We don't have like things we have to say.
Yeah, there's no.
That was good.
We just.
I've watched you do it a few times.
That's
the one.
Music to my ears. That's it. So welcome, guys. Bullet Points episode number 2. Maxwell's back. How you doing, Maxwell?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. Over here is Andy.
How you going?
For those familiar with where this has all come from Impact Dynamics, you've been on that show for years now.
Yeah, fair while. Here and there, making the odd appearance. Just working in the background, almost not here. But
in the middle, doing the tennis scenario.
That's right. Yeah,
but you're on the end this time. So thanks for joining us for this show.
Anytime.
A little bit of a different deal. We talk about sort of anything that's been going on and sort of thing. Maxwell, has anything been keeping you busy last couple of weeks?
Foxtastic Weekend.
Foxtastic Weekend. It has been announced, hasn't it?
It has been announced. So been busy editing.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, run me through
it. Basically, we're a national fox hunting competition that you can shoot foxes on your own property. We've got a few extras in this year with the most pigs category and a best deer photo.
Best deer photo?
Best deer photo. So yeah, we've got 3 judges, which is Brett Meldrum, Mel Gray and Tony Gillahan.
Okay, and give us a rundown of who those...
So Tony and Brett are both YouTubers, and Mel does a lot of photography of deer and stuff as well.
Right.
Pretty
so
good
you're not
following.
looking for trail camera photos, legit?
Just legit photos, or like you shoot a deer, take a good scenic photo with it.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, something a bit different that we teamed up with Wild Antler Outdoors. So yeah, he's been a big sponsor for the last 2 years of the Foxtastic Weekend, putting up a expensive pair of boots, some Crispies. So thank you to them for that.
Cool.
But yeah, we're pretty excited for the year. So yeah, look us up on inthedark.au and get involved.
Awesome.
That's the plug.
That's the plug. We're done.
Yeah, formality's over.
Yeah, formality's over. All right.
Did you do it last year?
No, I didn't. No.
Andy's too busy being a pro shooter.
No, I haven't got any, I guess, hunting property of my own.
Yeah.
I sort of get invited to a couple of mates' places.
Or you don't.
Or I don't get invited.
You don't get invited.
But
As it seems.
no, it sounds like a good thing you got going on there. I reckon people would be keen for it. What's the, like, in terms of you said photo with deer and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there like a time, does it have to be from this year or?
Yeah, so we're running it basically from that weekend until mid-April for that sort of section, and you can win some game bags and a pocket drag.
Yeah, cool. So I can't like get an old photo from New Zealand and just.
What about an AI photo? Can you?
You could probably AI a photo.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Someone's going to try and game it, I'm sure.
Of course.
Yeah, you got to have a number that we'll send you once you get your entry and that sort of thing. And then just write that on a board and hold it up in your photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. And then it's all up to the judges. It's out of my hands. So
Choose from there.
yeah, don't try and bribe me.
And is there like the you said there's a fox component of it as well? Is that?
Yeah, so the major part is the Fox component, which
Yeah.
we've got trophies for first, second and third, and then we've got a huge range of prizes for anyone who shoots a fox, and they're all drawn at random.
Yeah, cool. Is that first, second and third like from like a weight category or just how pretty the fox, how nice?
How many numbers. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What if it's a really
It's
big,
not a beauty contest.
What if it's a really big
really
fox?
nice, fluffy one that you know?
I do want to add a weight category one day, but it's a bit hard being national and everyone's on their own properties. Yeah. I'm not sort of there to be like, oh, have they just stuck a hose down this thing and filled it up with water and then put it on the scales for a 20 kilo fox?
Yeah,
Have you ever done the air compressor in the fox skin to get it popped
off? Yeah, it works. It works.
I know,
it works really well.
Plenty of times, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that one, Andy?
I have not, but I've heard of the tennis ball in the hide and you tie a rope around
it and pull it. Yeah,
Okay,
I've seen that one on YouTube. I've never tried that one.
What about the rabbit spin?
The rabbit spin.
Or flick?
I've done the rabbit flick.
The rabbit flick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Flick it out. Okay.
There's plenty of ways to skin a cat, that's for sure.
Or a fox.
Yeah, or a fox.
Yeah.
Or a deer. Or a rabbit.
Yep. Seems Seems interesting. I know. There's one way to gut a goat, and that's where you you tie it up and you hang it through the tree, and then you obviously do all the work and gut it all out, and then you realise about 2 hours later that your wedding ring has gone missing during it, or it's during the day at some point, and then you look back on the footage of you gutting the goat, and at the start of it you had the wedding ring.
Yeah, right.
And at the end of it, you didn't. And now there's a whole stack of this is the next day.
Oh, lovely.
24 hours in like 45 degree heat, pile of guts on the ground. And you're asking yourself how important that ring was or was not. Now, fortunately enough, that didn't happen to me.
Oh.
I was the one filming it.
That is.
Someone else had to make that decision and decided... They'd get another ring.
They'd get another ring.
Oh, right.
Wow.
They'd explain that, they'd show the video, and then they'd organise another ring.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one way to gut a
Yeah, that's one way to gut a goat.
It's a relatively expensive...
It's not the right way.
It's not the...
It's not the bet. Take the rings off, I think, before you're going to gut a goat.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, that's good advice.
We're here to help, right?
Yeah, that's what we're here for. You heard it here first.
Dude, what are we drinking tonight, gentlemen? What are you... beverages?
I've no idea. You grabbed it off the shelf.
We're drinking a Juniper Society Lemon Myrtle Gin.
From WA. Yeah, okay.
It's very nice.
I'm on a Tinberry, gin, which is a Adelaide gin.
Very nice.
Yeah, Andy, we talked about this last episode, and I think it's going to make its way into a regular question for our guests.
Okay.
The scenario, I'll paint you the scenario so you get the full picture, right? You're off on a hunting trip.
Yep.
It's been, it's 2 or 3 days away. You've been out all day hunting, right? You decided, no, it's not a thermal night tonight. We're going to go back and we're just going to chill out. We've achieved whatever we're here to do.
Okay.
We walk back, you put your guns away, do everything, walk back into that little house, the shack that you're in, and you walk up to the bar and it's stocked with absolutely anything you could want. What are you going to grab and then go down and sit by the fire?
Ooh.
It's the first thing that comes to mind.
What's the temperature?
You're by a fire.
Yeah, but is it like a cold winter's night by a fire, or is
If
it
you want it to be,
midsummer by a fire?
Yeah, I think go with the first one. You're much more inclined to be by the fire then.
I'm going like a spiced rum.
No, tell us what spiced rum.
Oh,
We've
what
got to
spiced rum?
get specific here. We want to know.
What's the... I can't remember the name of it.
What's it look
is
like?
It
Describe the
not
picture.
Jameson, no.
Jameson would be whiskey.
No, it starts with a J, doesn't it? No.
J. Sailor Jerry.
Sailor Jerry's a very good one. Yep. Not a big fan of the run-of-the-mill sort of Captain Morgans and stuff. They're a bit too sweet.
Okay.
But
you're into a rum.
Yeah, I reckon.
Bundaberg, obviously Bundaberg.
No, that's way too sweet.
He brings his own spices for it.
Bundaberg's way too sweet. That's just like sugar water or sugar syrup.
All right, well
Isn't a Canadian Club's a rum, isn't it? No, that's a whiskey.
It's a whiskey.
Gee, I drink a lot of stuff. I don't even know what I'm drinking half the time.
I guess after the first three.
Spiced rum.
A Captain Morgan, I think.
I'm not really down with the Captain Morgan, but a
Captain Morgan would still go all right.
There's a Kraken spiced rum there. You should have a crack of.
Yeah, I've had one of them.
You've had one of those?
What about? I've also tried is it monkey
shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a rum. That's a whiskey.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you know what a rum is?
Yeah.
Why is the rum always gone?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's no rum. So
I sort of just walk up to a bar and I'll say that one.
Yeah.
That.
We do a perfect eyesight as well.
That's right.
You can really see what it is.
That's right.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry to be no good, but
A spiced rum of some sort.
Spiced rum.
Any spiced rum of good tier.
Yeah. But if it's warm weather, I'm usually going a CC and dry.
CC and dry.
Yeah.
That was yours, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's me. Cold, hot, whatever.
Cold, hot. CC and dry all the way through.
CC and dry.
Very good.
What? Cold, hot temperature or the beverage cold or hot?
Yeah, cold or hot, like temperature-wise, not the beverage.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not drinking
a warm CC and dry.
I'm not a psychopath, I swear.
You would remember the Buchan Hotel when we've been over there for competitions.
Yep.
They had CC and dry on tap.
Yep.
And that was the most popular drink.
Definitely.
Comfortably.
Yeah.
It was, you had a full imperial pint of that.
Anywhere you can get CC and dry on tap, it's It's
Yeah.
got to,
Yeah,
it's gotta
shout out to the Bucking Caves Hotel.
Bucking Caves Hotel.
It was excellent. Have you been there, Max?
I have not through PRS, but I went there in.
Yeah, but you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah, I went after Shot Expo.
Ah, yes, that's
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
Enjoyed
cool.
it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, had a few
Different
drinks.
ownerships these days, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it was good. We popped in, had a drink.
great.
It was good.
It's good food. Good food.
Yeah, we did eat there, yeah. Maddie got some dino nuggets last night, I remember that.
That checks out. It sounds very good. So
What
Andy,
happens when you show up late to the pub? Just order for me.
I haven't been there for years. It's sort of always conflicted with, in the PRS calendar, always
yeah.
conflicted with something else. But
Yeah,
I've been
right.
there early on, like maybe 2 years,
Okay.
2 or 3 matches there.
enough to know the pub's
Yeah. Yeah.
decent.
Yeah, and there's some weird stories about a cat in a microwave or some cookies or something.
All sorts of things.
Don't worry about that.
No.
Got to be there.
But the pub, a competition like PRS coming to a little town like Buchan, it just fills with a bunch of people, and so there's only one place to go out at night, and that's
it.
where you end up, which is a great way to be.
Speaking of PRS, what are your plans for the season?
Yeah, try and shoot a few matches, try and stay in the top 5. I'd like to.
Yep.
I reckon
Stay in or get in?
Yeah.
get in and stay in, I think would be
Just checking.
Yeah.
Were you in the top 5 last season? I don't remember.
3rd for the finale, but I ended up in 9th
Okay.
overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a bit of a slow start to the
So I was
series.
right in my jab at you of get into the top 5.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I feel justified now, otherwise it's
Have some top 5 finishes. So.
Yeah, have some
3rd
consistent.
in the finale is a good effort though. Well
Yeah,
done.
surprised myself. Thanks. It's, yeah, I think I'd like to see just a bit more consistency out of myself. I started off pretty slow, getting I think it was 13th or 16th or something.
Yep.
3 matches in a row or something ridiculous,
Just
and I was
getting
like,
back in the rhythm.
yeah.
Yep.
It's, I need to get some pre-training in, pre-practice in before we kick off in the first match. So
That's end of March, isn't it? Kicks in?
yeah. So I'm just starting to learn how to reload again. But yeah, I think I'd like to qualify for the Australian and New Zealand series.
Yep.
So you need 3 matches to qualify for each series, and they're doing a dual points thing this year. So
Yeah, I did read that you can go to New Zealand. There's a match that qualifies for points for Australia and New Zealand. Is that the way it's working?
Yep.
And then vice versa,
And
isn't
vice
it? Yeah.
versa. So I think, and I better double check that this is right, but I think because there's 2 matches that cross over, I think you only need to do 4 comps all up, 2 in New Zealand plus the dual points 1, and 2 in
Including-
Australia
Yeah.
plus the New Zealand dual points 1.
Yeah.
So that's
2
4
matches in
matches.
each country.
yeah,
And then
that qualifies
potentially
for
can
both,
qualify for
Yeah,
either.
that's pretty cool.
which is pretty good
It's
because I
good that
think
they're doing that crossover now because we have had a few shooters from New Zealand coming
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
No, it's good to see.
taking all of our prizes. So we better go.
Bitter or anything?
Nah. So we better go over there and show them what's what.
Repay
But
the favour.
Yeah.
That's right. And I've got to
A vendetta.
show those New Zealand guys that I can shoot because I sort of dropped the ball in the US. It sort of just fell apart a bit. But
Okay.
yeah, I think it's really good. I reckon those matches will definitely book out super quick.
Yeah.
People will be
So
keen on them.
you heading over New Zealand a little bit then?
Yeah, I'll do the 2, the double points one plus one other, and then hopefully that should
Yeah.
qualify me.
Do you know which one you like? Where they are based? Where they are?
Oh,
No.
I think the dual points one's in the North Island.
Okay.
And then the other one I'll have to go to is in the south, and then the finale I think is in the south.
Okay.
Don't
You spent a
know.
little bit of time in New Zealand last year, didn't you?
I did 1 match.
Yeah.
In
Did
New
you
Zealand.
hunt over there? You hunted.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Went up. Shout out to Anthony Collar. You guided myself and Aaron around.
Oh,
took
so
us-
a couple minutes ago you were bagging him for taking all your prizes.
Well-
And now you're like, oh, but actually,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
for-
yeah. Thanks for showing us a good time and all the, the nature and everything. But
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
taking our
Stop taking
stop taking our trophies.
Yeah, right. How'd you go with? Did you get any trophies while you were hunting?
We did. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So you're sort of taking their trophies a little bit, just in a different.
a little bit, but they're ferals over there, so as in the animals.
Just clarify.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they're ferals. The deer is really nice, but it was good. We did, we did get 2, I think.
Okay.
So I'll have to.
2 deers.
Yep.
2 deers.
What type of deer?
I think I'll just fallow.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we were looking for some red, but yeah, just didn't really see them. We're actually trying to. Well, I mean, it was a pretty big hope that we'd get like some tar.
Yeah.
Because you're able to shoot tar in New Zealand.
Yep.
And we spotted them when we were glassing around. But
Yeah, right.
I mean, we're on the side of one hill or like ridge, and we would see it way up on the top of another ridge. And we're like, oh,
How do you even get there?
how do you get there? And I wonder how far away that is. And you're like, it's weird. Where we were, there's no like big trees, there's no like big features except for the mountains to really gauge distance.
Yeah,
You can't range anything because it's.
Well,
Surely
we
you're
could
on-
range it, but you sort of look at it and you're like, oh, could we take that shot? I mean, it looks like maybe 600 metres, 700 metres, which for us, take your time, it's pretty comfortable. And then you'd range
do
it
you
and it would be
wind?
like 900 or a K and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I guess
right.
not.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But you're on Sparky money. Surely you could have just like had a helicopter on call
Oh.
and just,
Chop it
so
into
drop
the
us
next.
over there.
Yeah, but that's just cheating.
take it.
That's, yeah.
It wasn't the money, it was the cheating.
What's the-
Yeah. That's all we're getting.
Oh, yeah.
I could do it, but it wouldn't be fair on it wouldn't be fair on the feral animals.
No.
That's right. Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to help New Zealand's economy that much.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'll make them work for it. But yeah, it was just mind blowing the scale of things over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm heading over there end of the year. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Hunting?
Good.
No, honeymoon.
Whoa.
Hunting moon?
Hunting
Nice.
moon, yeah, hunting moon, yeah.
Whoa.
Hey,
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, on my hunting moon. So
That'll be great.
yeah, shout out
Is that
to
where you somehow drop your newly found wife
wife.
at the airport and be like, I'm just going to park the car back at the rental place,
Yeah.
miss your flight, and be like, I can't I booked the earliest flight I can for another week.
I have spoken to a mate about this, and that is a scenario where I do miss the flight and she makes it, and my mate flies in the same day.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue, he's going on a trip there, and we run into the airport and miss my flight, and it's been discussed. It might happen, it might not.
You know what? There's flights to New Zealand like once every 2 weeks, isn't there? There's
Something
it's
like
not
that.
common.
It's not.
so-
It's not common. So
Yeah.
yeah, might get stuck there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
I hope you don't, obviously. But if you do,
If it happens, it happens. I'm going to have to hunt to survive. So
how else would you
I mean,
hunt?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the food over there is pretty bad, so you've got to.
Andy, I got a feeling you might not be let back into the country.
You really don't want to shoot those New Zealand matches, do you?
Yeah, no, of course.
Good.
Yeah, no, it is really nice over there. It's at the matches they've got, your open field sort of style.
Yeah.
So,
Have you been to the North or South Island so far?
I've been to the south.
South?
Yeah,
Good.
So,
Yeah.
loved it.
I think that's where Caitlin wants to go. So.
Yep. No, definitely, and I think I'm wanting to organise more of a holiday and shooting trip over there with my missus as well.
Yeah, for sure. If you're going to travel all the way, you might as well sort of take the time to sightsee a little bit.
Yeah, and just happen to tee it up with a competition and how convenient.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Hunting moon.
I didn't even know there was a competition coming. That's not my rifle. Oh, how did that get here?
Well, they had the same rifles that I've got.
That's it.
Wow.
Oh, worst case scenario,
looks
I
like
can
mine.
try and borrow one or something like that. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Not after tonight, you won't.
No. I mean, they're really nice people out down there.
I think that ship has sailed.
Yes,
Oh, good. And speaking of your plans for the year with PRS, now we obviously, for those familiar with this channel as it was, this is where the Impact Dynamics podcast was sitting. Now, you and Plushy are still planning to talk and
to each other.
to each other and occasionally record it.
Yep.
Do you want to, without necessarily giving it away, because we're going to save that for a chat on there, but do you want to talk about some of your overview plans for this year?
Yeah, for sure. So Plushy and myself and yourself, Rusty, we had like the Impact Dynamics. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Not Precision Shooting Podcast.
No, that was
before then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Plushy and I are going to try and take it in a focused direction towards PRS.
Well, it was very much PRS orientated.
True. Yes.
Yeah. You guys are going to take on the road.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea, and it sort of makes use of the time that we've got driving to matches back and forth, and flying and travelling, and just really opening it up to discussing every sort of possible thing that comes up and aspect. So because every sort of match we drive to, we'll be driving to the match
and driving back.
Yeah, but it's like 6 to 8 hours of sitting in a car just talking about anything that pops up. And it's a few times we've said to one another, like, well, there's a half-hour episode on just that topic. Like, if we just hit record on something
and chat.
So we're getting 6-hour podcasts from the both of you.
Well, we might try and break it up a little bit.
Yeah, 5 episodes per trip.
Perfect.
But it'll be good to, I think, going to the match, have a bit of a game plan, talk about it, that sort of thing.
And then disappointment on the way home.
And then just full disappointment.
Someone will be not so disappointed and someone will be even more disappointed. Probably.
That's right. Yeah, well,
it could. That's the jeopardy of listening is you're like, what mood are the boys going to be in this episode?
Are they just going to be abusing New Zealanders the whole time?
I wonder if your return episodes are going to be rating higher than your driving to, you're driving from, will be like, this wonder, shit. Yeah, wonder who's going to be dirty on it, and one of them won.
So the episode on the way there will be full of hope and aspiration and desire, and then on the trip back will just be full of resentment and disappointment. And
very authentic podcast. I like it.
A list of excuses and how maybe mandrilling or something will eventually help us in shooting better, but probably not.
What's the one little thing that you're missing that made your gun not shoot and that's why you lost?
That's it. It will be like buying this next piece of equipment that Tristan had or something. Yeah. It will be like, that person, that's why they won.
Yeah. That's why
because they had that extra piece of fancy equipment.
Speaking of fancy equipment, sounds like you're in the running for a new scope.
Possibly, yes. Andy? Well, on its way, I believe.
On its way. Well, so Josh is at SHOT. Well, it's wrapped up now, but
over now.
Last week he was at SHOT Show, and one of the products that released was from Carles was the K540i. If I got that correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
you look really excited about it.
Smiling.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty excited about it. It's definitely got some hype around it. I think, obviously punching out to 40 powers can be a big advantage, especially for those longer distances.
Yeah.
Even though I think, for the most part in Australia, I wouldn't probably be pushing over 20. Like most of the time, I'm sort of sitting at that 18 to 20 power. But that's sort of in the sweet spot of the optics as well. Like, if you've got a scope that goes to 25 power and you're sitting at 20, 22 power, you're sort of pushing the, I don't know what you call it, the clarity or the resolution of the optics. So sitting right in that sweet spot will be good. And I think just having that bigger field of view that they're talking about will help
that's
as well.
The exciting thing about it, isn't the field of view is meant to be really big on the 5 to 40.
So
this is the first I'm hearing about it. So 40 power, that's mind blowing.
40 power is
40 power. You can definitely see where you miss.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because I think one of the things that holds me back from zooming in further is the field of view. Like you take that shot. You bit of recoil and you're off target, but if you've got
a wider field of view, you can have more zoom.
That's it. You might be able to bump up to 22, 25 power and hopefully see a little bit more. And apparently, from what I've heard, because I haven't played with one, but the iBox is a lot more forgiving, and I think that also ties in with the magnification. So, on your normal like 25 or 30 power scope, you start cranking it up, and that iBox becomes real tight. Like it's hard to get behind it. But being the top end of 40, you sort of, from what I've heard, is you get behind it and it's there, the picture's there.
Yeah, nice.
So it's a lot more forgiving.
Yeah, interesting.
We've got one ordered for the shop, so when it gets here, we'll have a bit of a look and play with it.
I'd be excited to have a look at that.
Yeah. I'm keen. Hopefully they're weeks away. They're not too far away. So hopefully that will be something to be able to check out shortly.
Yeah, cool. And I think they still need like a half cantilever mount. Mount, same as the 3-18.
Yep. To get it back a little bit? Or forward?
To get the scope forwards.
To get the scope forward.
Because I think that iBox and the tube behind the...
Because they're a 36mm tube.
They are 36.
On those, so they've got quite a chunky...
Yeah.
How much elevation do they have in them?
That's a good question. Andy, you're the colours guy.
Yeah, Andy, how much elevation?
About how much?
Enough.
Plenty of elevation.
From memory, it's like it's a good amount. It's not a crazy amount, but it's very
being
comfortable
such
for long range.
a large tube,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
very
think
cool.
I don't think that will be an issue for the type of shooting we're doing.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I believe I haven't confirmed it yet, but I've been talking with Porter Machine Works as well, and I believe they're making a product.
Yep.
They most certainly are. Yes.
Oh, good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Love
Confirm
my
that.
Porter rings.
Yep. So, looking forward to putting that kit together and having a play with it.
Brilliant. That'll be good. Some other new arrivals. Burgers arrived through the new distributor. So we got
that's
some in the
exciting.
shop.
Yellow
Bunch of them went out.
boxes.
The yellow boxes are building up.
Golden boxes.
The golden boxes. So great to have what will hopefully be a really consistent supply. Although we put a video up from Shot that Josh filmed, and all our comments were Americans complaining why he's sending it to Anti-Gun Australia when we can't get it in America as well.
Interesting.
Share the love.
Although I think, exactly right.
Oh, you wouldn't
Although
say that to the New Zealanders.
Don't send over there, yeah. But I think, we're all getting the stuff that, the really, really popular stuff is still difficult to get. But
That's it.
that's the challenge. I think Burger have upped their production, they indicated. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's definitely a good
Well, I
sign.
don't think they're going anywhere. It's not
No.
like the industry's dying, is it?
Yeah.
Or
They're very in demand, so
Yeah.
it would make sense for them.
They've
to
released 3 new projectiles.
Oh, wow.
A 270, a 6.8 mil. I can't remember the weight of that one. A 217 in 30 cal in a hunting.
6.8's been becoming pretty popular in the States, I think, in military sort of thing. They've taken on a new 6.8, so I think it'll become one of the new IT cartridges for...
You reckon so?
I reckon for a very select community that follow military things, I think it'll be the new IT thing. So that's a smart move, really.
6.8.
That was developed with the military. The projectiles for that.
Yeah, it is for that.
Then releasing it to the public.
Cool.
So what's the 6.8? What's that?
It's 270, 277.
Oh,
Yeah. Just measured in mil for the military.
yeah.
Mil spec versions.
But they're not using a 270 case.
No,
they're
Like
using...
it's going to be a modern
Yeah,
shape.
there's more modern cartridges designed for AR-10s and stuff.
Yeah. So that's an interesting development. They're 217 because I think that we've got a 205 and a 225 or 230. So 217 is designed to sit in between that.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll get them
Plus,
on
it's not a
order.
270, so call it something else, and then you can get away from hate on the 270.
I was talking about
True,
30 cals,
true.
but 270. Yeah.
270. Awesome.
Yeah. There is
6.8. Stop saying 270. No one
Sorry.
likes it.
No one likes it. Sorry. Comment below if you like 270.
Yeah, don't.
And Maxwell will respond to you, apparently.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah.
That was my first centerfire cartridge.
It was. I'm going to be taken out to 900 metres with a Ruger M77. Is that the right
Mark II,
cartridge?
yeah.
Is that the right
That's an
gun?
effort.
Yep.
Yeah. He wasn't sure how he did it, but
No, I don't know how I did it.
coached him onto it.
Push them on.
Yeah, about
Just
two.
hold above the tree a little bit and send it.
It was about 2 or 3 shots, and then the barrel would warm up way too much.
Yeah.
Just a little pencil thin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Slaughter.
I've got it definitely is. Yeah, 2 or 3 shots and she's toasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time I shot that up at the club, it wasn't shooting too well. So.
How long's it been since you've had that?
I bought that one. Gee, that must have been maybe like 2015 or something, 2014. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hasn't had much use.
Yeah, right.
But, it might be due for an upgrade.
It's worn out by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I reckon it has.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's just,
Definitely need something new.
if it doesn't shoot, it's not me.
Rebarrel or new rifle?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I do like the controlled feed
Yeah.
because it's got I don't know what you call it, controlled feed.
Yeah, controlled feed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I do like that, and the action's pretty smooth and robust. But it's just in a timber stock, and I think there's a crack in the stock between the trigger and the magwell. So I don't know if that's maybe
Contributing.
Yeah. And then, but anyway, one day I might just get a second-hand Hogue stock for it and
Yep.
rebarrel it. But
Get it back out there. Have you hunted with it much?
not much, no. I think I've been walking around with it.
Yeah. Love taking my rifles for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going with a mate, and we did come across a fox that we were looking for deer, but it popped up about 20, 30 odd metres away, and
Yep.
he shot it with his 270, and perfect. It didn't go very far. Bits of it did.
Yeah.
But,
It's a bit deep.
Parts, yeah.
but yeah, other than that, I don't think I'm not 100% sure if it's actually taken anything down.
Okay.
Might have all just been for show. New gun, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, new gun.
Probably time for
It's
a new gun.
cursed.
Yeah, it's cursed.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Speaking of new, today, if you saw it, Hick Micro dropped some new thermals.
Oh, right.
New Falcon 2 and the Condor 2, which is in their 640 pixel stuff, which is
Exciting.
just an update of their spec bump sort of thing.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, we'll see.
I haven't had a chance to look, but what are the specs like? I assume they're pretty good.
Most important thing is the NETD has dropped
Yep.
on them compared to the previous models.
Yep.
Just it's a spec bump really, not the prices stayed the same.
Yep.
So
Oh, that's good.
just I guess the standard, not a phenomenal, amazing difference, but you get an updated version.
Yeah.
So there's a few other things in there that is a nice little update. Obviously, if you're going to buy now, you buy the new one.
Yep.
Unless you can get the old ones on a really good deal. But
Yeah. Might be a couple
that-
around. Go
that's
and
a sort of but not quite like when they updated the Stellars to the 3 from the 2. That was a pretty big jump.
yeah.
These ones were a good jump for sure. But yeah, not nice to see them. And
Yep.
but that's only on the 640
Only on
ones. I guess
640s.
we'll
Yep.
sit tight and wait for
Interesting.
if there's any other changes.
Yeah.
That's obviously a rifle-mounted thermal.
No, they're both handheld. So the Falcon's straight handheld. In fact, we're in a shop full of stuff. We may as well show what they
Yeah,
look like.
what
too.
they look
That's-
like.
Falcon looks like that one there. It's just a stock
Oh, yeah?
handheld. They have got a LRF version on the 50 with the LRF inside the
Yep.
In the
like they do
inside
with
the lens there.
with that sort of thing where you end up with the
yep.
LRF inside.
Yep.
And then a Condor is the like handheld as well, but then the LRF down the bottom. So
Right.
that's the sort of format they are in.
Definitely a cool bit of kit. I've never really played around with thermals a whole lot because it's usually all just under the spotlight
Yep.
but
Yeah, they definitely have a place. I run thermals and night vision. I still get my spotlight out from time to time.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah. Do you still? What do you find sort of changes it to run a spotlight?
Depending on the property, I've got one property. It's very rocky.
Okay.
So you go out on a night like this, and you have a fox go sit in front of a pile of rocks. You can't see it.
Yeah. Okay.
You got a 40-degree rock behind it. And,
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just wiped out. And you find it very hard to scan and find them as well because it's just so much
It's a bright
colour.
see dots everywhere.
Yeah, just dots everywhere. You're like, oh, is that one? It's like, oh, just shine a light on it and you'll know.
Yeah.
It might run away, but it might sit there. So
Your thermal's a little bit of an older
yeah, it is.
one as
It's an
well.
older Axion as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, need
Which
to update.
might be 2 years or something. So.
Oh no, it's probably 3 years old.
3 years old? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might find something more recent does show that
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Yeah, I do have
For the time
a
being.
newer pard coming to play with soon.
Hey, there we go.
So we've got a 640 pard coming. I'm not sure exactly what one.
just 640 part?
Yeah, just 640 pard. Cool.
Just pick it out the bucket, see what you get.
Yeah, just see what comes.
Nice.
That's coming with a rifle that I'm getting to test as well. So.
What are you allowed to talk about what you're going to be testing?
I believe so. They've been announced.
Okay.
They're out in the
What
wild.
are you
They've been
testing?
tested. It's a Celix Arm Chimera, which is a button release 223.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
right.
apparently they're pretty fast for follow-up shots. I'm pretty keen to get my hands on one. So,
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, hopefully soon.
I actually been thinking about getting a new rifle, which
Here we go.
might surprise you.
50 BMG.
50, no, probably more like a 22 cal air rifle.
Yeah.
Because the only air rifles I've got are just crappy little break
Break action.
actions,
Yeah.
which if you're really lucky, they might hit the same piece of paper with the second shot.
Yeah.
And you're grouping, like if you get grouping like that, like for those who are
At 10
listening,
metres.
a couple of inches at 15 metres, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
6 MOA sort of group.
Yeah. And I've got an opportunity to shoot air rifles a lot more than I have other guns.
Yep.
But at the moment, the ones that I have would be, I've got that, and I've got like the Crossman that you've got like a rotary mag, and you can just go pop, 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 pop. But it's even worse, like from an accuracy point. And I thought, well, if I was to maybe delve down the path of getting something decent, like FX Impact seemed to be the way to go.
Red Wolf, something like that.
Yeah. And then I can actually like tweak it and play with some accuracy and actually work on some shooting skills.
They're fun to play with.
Okay.
I've got an Impact Mark II.
You do? Yep.
It's enjoyable. I'd much prefer a Mark III. They're easier to adjust than that.
Yeah, right. The Mark IV's out now, isn't it?
Possibly.
Well, it is.
I've stopped looking at air rifles.
Okay.
Mine does what it needs to do, and I'm not playing with it anymore.
Gotcha. What's the difference between a Mark II and a Mark III? Do you know the difference?
Just a few plenum updates and that sort of thing, but they've also, to change airflow on the Mark II, you have to do it with an Allen key.
Okay.
Whereas with the Mark III, you've got a little windy thing you can just wind it back and forth.
And so that'll change the power of it.
Yeah.
That's
so there's
cool.
there's 3 different ways to change the power, but one of the main ones that you have to do is with an Allen key, and it's really awkward and takes ages.
Right.
Yes.
Not one of them then.
Get a Mark III,
Mark
Mark
III?
III or Mark IV,
Have you been happy with the FX Impact?
Yeah, love it. It's been really good for what I do with it. So.
Nice. Yeah, I'm thinking down that path, and also the ability to like test scopes and play with some scopes, because we do get a few sort of loaners and stuff.
Yeah, you can run the power down and run sort of 800 FPS and shoot at 10 metres in the shed with just one of those little pellet catchers. It's good fun.
Yeah, and to be able to actually get a chance to shoot more and play with some stuff would be good.
Oh, that'd be good.
I guess with the proper air rifles, not the spring ones, you can run any of these optics, can't you? But I know the spring BB guns, you sort of had to get a special scope, didn't you?
Sort of. So with like a Springer gun, what you need to do is make sure that the lenses are reinforced from both sides, because normal gun you get recoil one way, whereas a Springer gun you get recoil and then kickback or backlash. And if you're it's more prevalent in cheaper scopes, right? If you're going to save costs on scopes, you're going to reinforce the piece of glass or the housings for them on one side, but not necessarily the other way, right? Because you're gearing it up to take recoil, and that's where you can destroy what could be quite a nice scope on a Springer gun, because you're giving it different recoil that's it's not used to. We've probably moved past that with most scopes.
Oh, most modern stuff.
Yeah, so most scopes now, while there won't be anything listed on as air rifle compliant, right, is they're generally fine because they're reinforced enough that they don't move either way.
Technology's gotten better.
Manufacturing has gotten better.
Yeah. In your cheaper scope section, it's probably still could be very true. But if you're into a few $100s for scopes, you're generally finding that they get so reinforced because, and the reason's interesting, is that most of these come out with lifetime warranties now. So they spend a little bit extra to make sure it's rock solid, so that you can almost do anything to them within reason, and they will survive it rather than having to replace it. Right?
That makes sense.
So, I guess the whole, it's talking very generally, but gone up. The time that they've spent on doing that has gone up. And I'm sure if you're buying a $50 or $100 scope, really cheapies, they'll probably get ripped apart still by an air rifle.
Yeah, I remember my air rifle. I got it on a sale. It's a really good one. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's the Bear Grylls air rifle.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow,
excellent.
Yeah,
signature edition.
Yeah, it's orange and black.
I remember that one.
And it's just the brake action.
That's a Gammo, isn't it?
Yeah. Gammo Bear Grylls.
Bell Gammo. I remember those.
So, but I remember putting an optic on that, and the guy in the shop was like, "Oh, you have to get this one." Mind you, it was the cheapest Nico Sterling I could find. But it was it's had a good time. Haven't shot that one for a very long time either.
No.
Yeah, I took the scope off of it because I found that with the brake action, bringing it back up to the exact same spot every time was terrible. I was better off just using the iron sights on it.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
It's just,
Because I guess if there's any slop in that barrel, that's the sight's dropping as well.
It's like fundamentally like not going to be consistent. You've got a brake action with a scope that's mounted on a different part of the gun, and it's where the iron sights were mounted both on the barrel, and that stays consistent. So there you go.
To some degree.
Some degree, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I had a bit of fun with it.
And air officers certainly, since I was back in a previous job selling guns, air officers have progressed so much.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, in that 12 years or something since. And so now I just started looking back into it. I knew the FXs were...
There's quite a few good
Is there some other
PCP
brands?
brands. Yeah, I think Red Wolf are pretty good. I think they might be a little bit more expensive.
Is there a Bear Grylls model?
I don't know. You would have to ask Bear Grylls himself, I think.
He might Andy, can you?
Yeah, Andy. You just
flick him a message?
Flick him a message, send him a photo, be like, hey, can we get an update?
Yeah,
he's probably lost in New Zealand.
I was going to say, lucky he's not from New Zealand. Otherwise he won't respond to Andy's messages. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, definitely plenty of good brands out there for the PCPs. I've even seen one recently. They're now doing electronic sort of air regulation and that sort of thing.
Oh,
so
wow. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds beyond what I was planning for. Happy with the FX impact?
Yeah, definitely a good way to go.
Okay. Oh,
enough of them out there. There's plenty of spare
there's
parts
plenty
and
of parts,
stuff
and there's a distributor in Australia, so you can get repairs easy and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Once you get round count up and that sort of thing, they've got to be serviced. But
okay,
I probably need to send mine in for a service, but I probably won't.
Are they the sort of thing where like you can buy all these different accessories and and bits and pieces to go on it?
100%.
There's no end.
There's no end to it.
Yeah, right.
It's
not like just
endless.
buy once and that's it. That's all you get.
No, there's it's like PRS. There's 100 different ways you could go with it. Lots of different companies out there making different bits and pieces and accessories and all the things.
Yeah, I have seen. It's in South Africa.
The air gun.
They have the air rifle.
Yeah.
PRS essentially.
Yeah.
And it's indoor.
Indoor
PRS-y air rifle.
They're huge on their air guns over in South Africa.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah, they're big for hunting, aren't they? They're big caliber air rifles.
Big cow air rifles. And they run a lot of like FXs, long barrels and really high pressures running long slugs.
Okay.
They do a lot of bird shooting and monkey shooting and stuff with them.
Gotcha. Okay.
So get an FX and get set up to do some monkey shooting.
Of course I will.
Yeah. Plenty of them around here.
Yeah, plenty. Yeah. Probably more in New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. They're all ferals.
Very good. Very good. Oh.
Well, speaking of guns we haven't shot for a while, I took my Adler for a walk the other day.
An Adler?
Oh,
I haven't heard the word Adler said for quite a while. How did your Adler go for a walk?
I took it for a walk.
Yeah.
It didn't go well.
I didn't figure, how did it go? Did it go well?
I went to go check some trail cameras and I thought I'd take that with me. It's sort of in some scrubby area. Thought I might run into some young foxes. We did not.
Did not? Okay.
Did not, but I checked my cameras and there's a couple of good bucks getting around, so exciting for me and Joe.
So gearing up for the rut, is that the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. They're still in velvet, but good growth and nice form.
So if they're in velvet now, what does that put you approximate time frame then?
Probably, this was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Just
so that would make it sort of early-ish January?
Early-ish, mid-January. So probably looking middle of February they should start rubbing out.
January, far out.
A couple of weeks. Okay. They'll be rubbing out and then we'll be in there and looking for them as much as possible.
2 or 3 weeks away.
Yep.
Nice.
How long do you try and get in there before the rut?
Before the rut, okay. How long do you have to sort of take these? Because they drop antlers, don't they?
Yeah, they do drop antlers. You do have a long time, but the problem is with the fallows is they're so ruthless when they fight, they'll snap antlers and they'll break bits off of them.
So you're trying to get in prior to that.
Yeah, you try and get in prior to the rut, otherwise you'll shoot a wicked buck that you've been following and you'll just find a tine snapped off or something like that. And it's character, but at the same time it's
character.
Adds character, but you sort of want them whole. So
if
we can get in early but it's also a wild animal, so you might spend the entire time looking for it up till the rut and never see it. So Yeah, gotta
True.
put in the effort. And,
Okay.
That time frame lines up with your competition you got going, does it?
yeah. So with the Foxtastic Weekend starts early March, and then sort of the deer side of it, we're running till late April. So you sort of get the whole rut to get a photo in.
Is it easy to get a photo of the deer during the rut? Because they're distracted?
Distracted. It's an easy time to hunt them as well.
Okay.
That's why you find a lot of bow hunters just focus everything on the rut.
On the rut.
Because you can sort of, there's lots of options of getting a deer distracted, but you could also call them in. You can rattle antlers and they'll, someone's fighting on my territory, I'm going to go bash them up, and they'll run right up to you.
Okay.
So there's lots of cool things you can do. So,
Nice.
But yeah, how'd your trail cameras go?
So, Andy, I was going to put, I got to grab some of the trail cameras, one of the micro trail cameras the other week. And I was going to go set up in the roof because we've got rats. I think they're rats.
Presumed rats.
Presumed rats. Got traps that I had set a couple of times, and they thwarted my traps.
Right.
But it's been 5 years plus since I've set a trap, so I'm sure I did some things wrong. So I wanted to try and sort of capture what went on, how they got out, or how it didn't go off properly, or whatever it is. And so I was keen. I was busy the first weekend since we, right? So I was like, oh, this is the weekend I'm going to do it. And then on Thursday, I may have had a slight accident and end up in hospital Thursday night.
Oh no.
With suspected rib injuries. And so 7 hours later, worked out they were not broken, which was fantastic. All the organs were still meant to be where they were, or they were where they were meant to be.
On the inside?
On the inside, yep.
Good.
And in somewhat the right places.
Okay, cool.
So I end up fractured ribs rather than broken, which is still reasonably painful, but not for. I've had broken ribs and not that.
Not pleasant.
Not pleasant. So the idea of getting up into a roof on what has been high 30 degree temperatures, up a ladder, which funnily enough, a ladder was involved in the reason I went to hospital.
I was going to say, when do we start guessing what happened? Because I was going with go-karting accident.
That's a fair comment. I did yesterday think, be keen to go-karting. No, maybe not. No, it was ladder related. It was my own fault. You know when you're like up a ladder and you're like, what I should do here is like change ladders should have been the solution, was the solution. But you're like, all I have to do is like clip a cable tie and it's about that much further away.
Yeah.
And you're like, I could probably just
hold on to something.
Put my foot on something else and then you realise on the ground that was not the best idea.
It's just easier to move the ladder. Or
Fortunate enough, there was a big steel I-beam that my chest found some comfort on as I declined in my elevation. Yeah. And that helped because then I'd landed on my feet like a cat.
Excellent.
With leprosy, perhaps. It went better than it could have, but didn't go great.
Yep.
So...
You're okay now, though?
I'm okay, yeah.
That's good.
Stuff that'll heal and stuff.
Yeah. How's the ladder?
A ladder has had a stern talking to.
Okay, cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It knows.
It knows that I should have made better decisions. But have you guys busted ribs at all? Have you had rib injuries at all?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, I have.
You have? Yeah. There's not much you can do for them. As long as everything's set right, and obviously fractures. Compared to broken, I had broken ribs. You just have to sit and wait and hope no one like tries to hug you or rugby tackle you.
Yep.
Yeah. So
good fun.
But anyway,
that would be hard. Everyone wants to hug you, so.
Well, not so much that. It's going with the other one, but bruising. But anyway, not looking for sympathy. It's completely my fault.
It is 100%.
Yeah. The doctor's like, what happened? I'm like, I tried to start explaining. I'm like, is it easier if I show you CCTV footage? And they're like,
wait, there's footage?
That would be, I still need them now, obviously. And they're like, yeah, actually that would be better. So I showed them the footage, like, okay, you didn't hit your head. That's really good. I'm like,
That's a good start.
Right, sweet. They're like, yeah, that's way easier than explaining it.
That would have been really good looking back on that. Be like, what an idiot.
Oh, no. Mate, I got on the ground. I'm like, what an idiot. I didn't have to
Just looked at the camera. What an idiot.
Yeah.
And cut.
Yeah. Like 5 years ago, I would have bounced.
Yeah.
Not these
I
days,
know
mate.
that
This is what
feeling.
you boys have to look forward to.
Yeah.
Look about what 10 plus years on you guys. Yeah, they're not great years.
So it's all downhill from here.
We're down ladder.
Yeah,
down ladder.
Down ladder.
Yeah.
No more ladders.
Oh, I got on a ladder yesterday, but just the ladder
Yeah.
and put it exactly where I needed to go.
One step.
One step up. No, I'm not going any higher. So in answer of your question,
Yeah.
no, I haven't got any footage of whether it's rats or not and what they're doing to my trap.
Monkeys.
Could be monkeys. I hadn't thought about
Air
that.
rifle's the solution.
Those feral New Zealand monkeys.
That's right.
That Andy's well
Damn you,
acquainted
Colin.
with. So hopefully I'll check back in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
I'll get up a ladder sensibly, and I will see what is
See
up
what's
there.
going on.
So
Cool.
that's my goal. Hopefully it's also a little cooler because that's honestly been one of
I
the.
think this week's going to be a little bit cooler, but
I'm
next
away
week's
this week.
looking very hot.
I'm off on a plane tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm off to Melbourne and then
Travel the
Sydney and then
country.
back home, and anyway, so
Excellent.
that's the way it is. I'm spending Chinese New Year with Phil from Arkin.
Oh, no way.
How good.
Yep.
Oh, that's
So
going to be great.
with Phil, who's from China.
Yep.
And spend Chinese New Year with Phil in Melbourne, having Chinese. I hope.
Yeah.
That should be cool.
Yeah. So that
Something
should be
different.
That should be fun. I'll celebrate
It's gonna be a
Chinese
big
New Year.
night.
I don't know what you're meant to do with Chinese New Year. What is the alcoholic beverage of China? I mean, I could just drink
I've no idea.
anything really, I guess. But
I don't know.
is there
Whatever. I'm sure Phil will order for you.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Phil will know.
There'll be something that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I look forward to drinking it. It sounds great.
Yeah, no, it does.
That's it.
Yeah.
Any plans for next few weeks, gents, in the shooting world or hunting world or staying out of the sun world for
white people like me.
we're going to have some decent warm temperatures.
Yeah, it's going to be very warm. For myself, I need to edit a couple of videos, so I've got to hit micro Alpex that I need to do some more playing with. I've filmed a video with one of them on my 17 HMR. Now I'm going to do the video with the 223.
How'd it go?
Yeah, good.
Yep, this is the 4K LRF.
Yep, 4K LRFs. Yeah, so taken the 17 out a bit, and I went out with James the other day. He bought his 223 out with his on it. Shot what we thought was a fox, but it was a hare. It was quite funny.
Yeah,
He was telling me it's a fox. I'm like, all right, man, shoot it.
Yep.
Go over. I'm like, nice fox. It was a big hare though.
It was a big hair.
It was a big hare, and it was darting around like a fox would in a paddock. It was strange.
Weird.
So yeah, we did see a couple of foxes previous to that, but we had speeds wrong in his ballistic calculations.
That'll do it.
Barrel had sped up a fair bit because it was a new barrel. So once we got that sorted, he started hitting things at distance.
Back on deck.
Back on deck. So yeah, no, it was good. And yeah, mine's going really well. A few foxes down with it. So
Nice, man.
but yeah, need to spend a bit more time with it. But yeah, weather has not permitted lately.
Nah, it's not been conducive to it.
No.
I think that's the biggest struggle is when I go out spotlighting. I don't do it nearly enough to get used to distance at night, but just I've missed too many shots to mention, like just over the top of their head.
Oh no, we got time. Go for it.
Yeah, please.
Well, last time, mainly on foxes too, and especially
A
like
small target at distance. Which you sort
they
of-
are, but at the same time, like, you know, sort of looking through it. This is like when there were pups around and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's, you know, and we're just using a real old halogen spotlight, and you could see the eyes reflecting back, and I'm like, oh, gee, they are small and close together. So
It's far away.
I thought it was far away. No, it was a pup. At probably like 180 metres. I was like, damn it, straight over. It would have just gone way over the top. But yeah, that's the hardest thing, gauging distance.
Yeah.
and
It is difficult.
that would be.
You know, they make these things called laser rangefinders.
Yeah.
And they work at night.
Yeah, I know that.
Andy's used to rocking up at a competition being told how far all the targets
that's a
are.
good point.
So he gets up and he goes on the back of the
He's
ute,
sitting in
like,
the car. He's like, "Where's the matchbook?
There's the fox.
150 meters."
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, someone going to give me a brief on this fox?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. How have I got 90 seconds? Yeah.
That's too long, sitting on the back of the ute waiting for it. But yeah, that's the hardest thing. And it sort of dawned on my mate and myself near the end of the night. We were using like an old halogen spotlight. So pretty much if its eyes shone back, just hold on it because it's not bright enough.
It's not bright enough to shine far enough.
To sort of worry about distance.
Yeah,
like if you can't see it in the light, it's too far.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I run with my spot. I've got an old Light Force Blitz.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it because it's pretty much if you can see it.
Just shoot.
And basically you can see the ring of the light and basically it only shines out to about 200 metres.
Yeah.
So you just hold on them and send it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That's the way.
That's my problem. I used to run the HIDs.
Yeah.
And you can see a long way with those and you're like, let's range find that. Work out how far that is.
Yeah. That's generally what I have to do with Tim when we're out together.
Yeah.
With his firelight.
Yep.
Hellfire, which shines for 2 kilometres. I was like, there's a fox over there. Oh, it's rangefinder, 380 metres. Is it?
Just according to
it works well. So
good way to get good at long range shooting.
Yeah. 300 wisdom on foxes. Jeez.
That'll do it.
Yep, sure does.
Got rid of the fox real quick in 2 ways. There's no cleanup.
No scalp needed.
No, absolutely.
That's still a thing in SA? It wasn't, was it? Scalping
So we had recently, they did 3,000 scalps last year. I'm not sure if they were reintroducing it because Victoria were actually talking about taking theirs away and then they increased the price. So
what's it worth now for a fox
I think it's
scalp?
$14.50.
$14.50.
Yeah,
$14.50. It was $10, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was $10. So $4.50 extra.
Okay. Yeah, right. Can you get rid of them?
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if SA counteracts to that. I'm pretty sure they did get rid of all of their 3,000 that they put up. So, but you had to be a farmer. You had to have a property identification number to hand spring scalps.
Okay.
So hobbyists who go out to farms couldn't do it. But
is your property big enough to get one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be a massive property.
It doesn't have to be massive. No, you just have to have animals as a primary producer, basically, or cropping or something like that.
Yeah. Have to draw an income from the land?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just apply for a PIC number.
Or, but it has to be potentially an option. Okay. Yeah, you can't just be like, it's my backyard.
No.
We've got enough to drive a car down the back and probably not quite enough to raise some sheep.
Yep, exactly.
Put a goat in there, it'd probably survive.
Yeah, probably would.
Yeah, and jump the fence and go.
Get your scalps, pay it off.
Pay off the goat.
Pay off the goat.
Pay off the goat. Yeah.
Free goat.
Do you reckon if I got some chickens, my land would be big enough?
You'd probably do better with some feral New Zealand monkeys.
True.
Have you thought about raising rats?
I've got that covered. I've got that covered.
Got it. Already taken.
I'll give you some tips if you like. Once I confirm they're rats, I'll let you know.
We've got a resident blue tongue.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, I like him. He keeps the spiders down.
Snails as well. I love their snails.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, gents.
Excellent.
Go out and enjoy. I'll try and get some rat footage.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Enjoy your holiday.
Riveting.
I know it's not a holiday.
Well, it's your work trip. Enjoy Chinese New Year.
Enjoy Chinese New Year.
Yeah. Chinese New Year. It's a holiday.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And we'll catch you guys again in a couple of weeks. But Josh will be back for the next one.
He will.
He will, in fact...
He'll just sit there talking the whole time. We won't have anything to talk about.
He'll just be like, oh, yeah, Las Vegas this, range day that, shooting this.
AR-15 that.
Yep.
Cool things this.
Hoover Dam this, yep. Anyway.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Andy.
Anytime, man.
Yep, so you'll be able to find Andy on the new, well, not necessarily new podcast, but the podcast when he comes back on, sort of March. And check out Foxtastic Weekend.
Yep.
On inthedark.au.
Yep, that's the one.
I got it right.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah,
Instagram, Facebook.
And Oh, we didn't. One thing like this, the channel that this is on the what was the Impact Dynamics channel is now the Scoped Out channel on YouTube. So a lot more videos coming on that. A bunch of stuff coming. So stay tuned for more of this and more of that, and
good.
whatever else happens.
Heaps.
Easy.
Exciting
Excellent.
stuff.
See you guys.
See ya.
Cheers.
Catch you later.